This week in a gale is the Ford Everest Tremor. If you're wondering where Tremor fits in the range, it's sort of at the top, but of the off-roading section, as if all Everest didn't need to go off-road. This one's got the 3-litre V6 turbo diesel. It's got similar headlights to the Raptor, certainly the same shape, and some serious bumper action going on. This is a really serious off-road car. It's lifted quite high with massive wheels and tyres. The little divot gives it smart unlocking, but only on the front doors. Easy access. The spare tyre underneath. Some heavy-duty towing action. Space for your bits and bobs under the floor. 60/40 seats and a 12-volt outlet. But unlike the Raptor from last week, this has got enough room in the back. It is 7 seats, so there's another 2 seats behind this, which I've currently got folded. Leg room though is still fairly snug. Down below we've got some power, a fan control, and overhead some vents. But this is 76,000 and some change. There's no sunroof. The front seat, more civilised, there's some serious cockpit action going on. We've got a fairly wide driver screen, but it's not quite as wide as the Raptor, so it doesn't include these bits at the side. Otherwise, it is exactly like the Raptor, minus Raptor's extra buttons at the side. Otherwise, these controls scroll through the driver's side menu. These controls control the smart cruise control, and the audio controls are along the bottom, including the phone. This is Sync 4, probably Sync 4A, I didn't check. There's air conditioning controls here, including your heated seats and cooled seats. You can have auto fan on one of 3 settings. These are the quick access buttons, although this is here most of the time, and if you want the full climate menu, there it is, including the max AC, recirculate, and dual, which is what Ford calls sync. Down below we've got a wireless charger, the electronic gear shifter, parking brake, mode selector, which for a change is really easy to use. It also includes the 4-wheel drive and trailer controls, and I've got this, as you can see, in 4 automatic, which gives the car the ability to decide for me what 4-wheel drive I should be in, or if I should be in 4-wheel drive at all. Like Raptor, we've got an upper and lower glove box, but there's no whatnot shelf. And there's a nice deep bin. And upholstery is in this perforated material. There's no paddle shifter, so I've given the electronic shifter a pull down to drive. And the first thing you notice when you set off is that V6 turbo diesel sounds like a petrol. I've honestly rarely been as impressed with an off-road car as I am with Everest. God. As with Everest and Ranger. Mainly because when you start off with a ute and do an SUV from it, usually it's just full of compromise. It certainly is with the ones from Mitsubishi and Toyota. So the driving characteristics, despite the slightly different suspension, the drive difference between this and the Ranger, not so marked. They both have absolutely beautiful road manners. Vastly, vastly better than the opposition. Now, given that I can't show you the off-road screen, because that button appears to be broken, there are a lot of other things that you can access through the main screen. You go in, set the car up the way you want it, and then chances are you don't have to go to it much after that. I've got speed limiting on the steering wheel as well, so I'm just now going to activate cruise control, and it's activated both the cruise control and the auto steering. And the thing about this is the auto steering is not jerking the steering wheel out of my hands like it does with many other cars. This is just nice and gentle. And you can see that it's a fairly filthy day. We've come in out of the rain and the cold outside. There was a brief break in the weather to do the outside bit, but that's why the outside bit was so brief. But it's on the freeway, on the open road, where this just feels so, I'm going to say it, luxurious. This may be the off-road focused version of Everest, but it just feels so at home on the freeway. In other words, your road trip car. On the road, this is going to be 83,000, something like that. This is the kind of weather you're likely to meet on a road trip. And this Everest is just lapping it up. But that's not to say that it's not capable off-road. It absolutely is. Now, you could spend a lot more on an SUV and get a lot less. There's a lot of SUVs that have all-wheel drive. But full four-wheel drive, full 4x4, gives you the ability to have high and low ranges. Let me just check. I'm on 11.4 litres per 100 kilometres at the moment. I have been down as low as 10. And I think for such a big, heavy vehicle, that's actually not bad going. Even with this superb 10-speed gearbox, we do run into a couple of problems with emissions. This is Euro 5, which of course falls far short of the government requirements. But always keep in mind when you're buying a car that you want to buy it for your needs. Don't buy it for the lifestyle that you think you have or that you want. Buy it for the one you actually have. So don't buy one of these if all you do is go shopping once a week. It's a complete waste of money. You're paying a huge amount of money for something that you don't need. Everest, of course, comes with 3,500 kilo towing capacity. And that's absolutely huge, but always keep in mind your gross vehicle mass and your gross combined mass. The sound system is great, not as good as it was in the Raptor, but then that was Bang & Olufsen. They have thought of everything, even though we have carpet on the floors. Not very expensive carpet, but we've got carpet on the floors. There are rubber floor mats, so that you can get in with your dirty shoes and it's not going to be such an issue to clean. Though having said that, I don't know if I really want to take an $83,000 vehicle off into the wilds and get it all scratched up. Anything the Ranger can do, this can do. Except it does it with a bit more joie de vivre. You can keep everything dry. You don't have a tray to worry about. You can still tow. You've still got good sound. You've still got a fairly thrifty engine. It has to be said that Ranger Raptor's V6 twin-turbo petrol was considerably thirstier. I've liked Everest ever since it first came out. I think it's one of the better SUVs on the market. There are design highlights I really like, the little sort of hexagonal pattern in the vents. The materials are all fairly hard wearing. Some of the plastic is fairly scratchy and a little bit cheap, but we have to keep in mind that this is first and foremost a tough, rugged off-roader. It's got plenty of Jesus grips, and thank goodness they're on both sides. The seats are comfortable, they're electrically adjustable, and the driver has 3 memory positions. The week in Everest has just been completely enjoyable. It is fairly tall because it's the suspension is slightly higher than usual, which means you do have to watch in lower car parks, and it does give me the heebie-jeebies, and I can't open the inner sunroof cover to see how close I am to things above, which is probably just as well. In short, Everest Tremor is a stroke of genius, does what it says on the box, is comfortable to drive, very quiet, very cozy, has all of the modern gadgets. I think it's brilliant. That's all this week for the Ford Everest Tremor. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there on the round thing, do subscribe.